The term passport bro has become really popular over the last year. It refers to men who leave their Western countries to go elsewhere in the world to find women to date, marry, and start a family with. It seems to carry with it, though, some of the negative connotations that the old mail-order bride ideas from previous decades had. I'm someone who is by heritage from both Eastern and Western cultures, and I'm now living in Poland, another culture completely. And I've dated a lot of girls from a lot of different cultures in Europe and Latin America. And especially in the last few years, since my dating life picked up a lot, I've dated a lot of Polish, Ukrainian, and Belarusian girls. So I think I can say something on this topic. I never set out to be a passport bro. I spent most of my life in the UK, but from 2017 I started traveling a lot because my main hobby was dancing, and there was nowhere near me that I could learn the style of dance that I do. I later started teaching it, and so I traveled even more so that I can learn more to be a better teacher for my students. In 2018, I moved to Poland in order to pursue my passion without having to get on a plane. And I'm not saying that women weren't part of what I was thinking about, but they weren't the main reason for choosing Poland. I was, however, much more impressed about women that I have met and dated here than the ones I dated back home. And it seemed to be just easier to meet a very beautiful woman and have very good connection and great conversation. The girls I dated here were very conventionally beautiful. They usually spoke 2 or 3 languages. They usually have master's degrees and were more interested in things like psychology, philosophy, and world events than getting drunk on the weekend and talking about what happened on some reality TV show. This was a much better deal than I had where I was living at the time in Wales in the UK. So, why do so many guys experience this differential in attractiveness of women outside of the Anglosphere? This certainly isn't going to go down well with some people, but I think one reason that men feel like, oh my gosh, there are so many beautiful women here, is simply because the prevalence of obesity and overweightness is much lower here. In Wales, 29% of women up to the age of 24 are overweight or obese, and that rises to 59% in the 25 to 34 age bracket. The same cohorts in Poland are only 13.7% and 23.2%. That's significantly less than half. And in the eyes of most men who aren't themselves obese, being obese takes a woman completely off the radar of relationship potential. It's like how most very tall girls wouldn't consider a much shorter guy for a relationship. And I say that as someone who has dated girls who are taller than me. It happened, but it happened only rarely. And you can say, oh, it's her loss or whatever, but there is an instinctual preference in there that you can't negotiate. The same goes for men with their instinctual preferences. I've also found that it's been much more comfortable to be traditionally masculine here. It's been a good place to develop healthy masculinity, something that I never could back home, because here I've been given the chance to be this strong, stoic leader and provider. There hasn't been anywhere near as much of the anti-man, man versus woman rhetoric here that you find in every kind of media and in people's minds back home. The women I've dated most successfully have been the ones who are able to trust me, to let me lead. This also means that I do traditionally male things like taking charge of planning dates, paying for at least the first few dates myself. But I get the reward of enjoying her at her most feminine too. When there's healthy masculinity and femininity, we play different roles in the relationship rather than trying to fight each other for the same place. Licensed therapist Dr. Orion Taraban of the channel Psychax made a video about his experiences of dating in Japan, which resonated a good amount with my experiences of dating in Poland, albeit being a very different culture.
On the whole, Japanese women are slender and physically fit, feminine and demure, friendly and courteous, and respectful and appreciative. Not all Japanese women, I'm sure, but the vast majority of them as far as I could tell. When I spoke with them, the feeling I got was that they felt lucky to be interacting with me, which is a total reversal of the attitude you generally encounter in the West. I've gone on a lot of dates in my day, and the prevailing vibes were either A, that I should feel lucky that the woman was allowing me to buy her a drink, or B, that the woman needed to make sure I could give her what she wanted by conducting the date like a job interview. There's a lot of entitlement and narcissism here. It's all about her. On the other hand, my sense is that in Japan, women feel grateful for the opportunity to be there, grateful for the opportunity to be considered as a potential partner. It was extremely refreshing, to say the least.
Poland has been a great place for me to date and grow as a man. I'm now dating a beautiful, intelligent, kind, and extremely feminine 22-year-old woman. I don't usually date with such a large age gap, but we were friends from dancing together for 2 years before we started dating. And when life is giving me the romantic equivalent of winning the lottery, I'm not going to say no. And this has been the healthiest, most balanced, most loving relationship I've ever had. We're very honest, caring, and loving with each other, and our values and principles align. And all the love and care I put into this relationship comes back to me. But I think that any man who thinks that moving abroad means that dating will be easy is not being realistic. There are still plenty of opportunities to be exploited in any part of the world, and men with unrealistic ideas about women are going to be the prime targets for those who want to exploit them. I imagine some fat, sunburned, poorly dressed Western men with no social skills or emotional intelligence thinking that they're somehow going to win over some beautiful young woman just because he's got money. They are never going to get genuine desire from a woman that way. If they win someone over with money, then they'll never keep her, other than with money. In which case, I would argue that they never really had her. I think it's really important to get to a place in life where you are able to screen who loves you for you genuinely and who is not simply trying to use you. This next thing I want to talk about is not quite the same thing, but it's got some of the same dynamic, potentially. A few days ago, I saw that this guy, who became famous for his YouTube video about being ugly, lonely, and treated badly, got married. He got married to a woman from South America who saw his video, apparently thought he seemed cute, and moved to Sweden to be with him. Some have speculated that this might be some sort of exploitation on her part in order to get residence in Sweden. I don't know. I sincerely hope not, but from what I've heard about this guy's story since then, I'm not sure if he's had the life and romance experience to be able to identify when such exploitation might be happening. Like I said, I really hope it's genuine. I wish this guy and his wife all the best. I just think that he would be less able to tell if it isn't genuine than someone who had dating experience. Not so much the experience itself, but the person you have to become in order to get the experience that would make that difference. My girlfriend is beautiful, intelligent, and the most pleasant girl I've ever dated. But what does she get from this relationship? Not to boast, but I'm in great shape. I have skills that allow me to make a very good salary. I'm a dancer like her. I'm emotionally aware. I've worked on my issues for years to become a balanced and stable person. And I'm also a trained Thai massage practitioner who can massage her and make her feel amazing at the end of a busy day. My girlfriend is a wonderful woman, but I couldn't have and keep her unless I had become and unless I remain a wonderful man. Even if the average quality of a woman in a particular place is more in line with what you like, the thing that many passport bros seem to be forgetting is this. You can, at best, only get the quality that you are capable of giving. Thank you very much for listening.